What's up, SNA Assassinators? This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another video. And this is the wrestling news for you all today on August 21st, 2024, where we're going to be talking about the wildest wrestling news stories and rumors that you SNA Assassinators need to know that are very intriguing. On August 21st, 2024, from the Wrestling Inc. article. And we're going to start off today with WWE is reportedly very interested in signing in or AEW star for NXT. And NXT has required a number of former AEW stars in recent years, they've gone on to play a regular role on the brand's programming, such as Brian Pillman Jr. decided to leave his family lineage behind to forge his own path as Lexus King. Sean Spears kept all of his AEW presentation when he arrived, despite competing as Ty Dillinger. Another name has reportedly attracted a lot of interest from those within NXT. According to Fightful Select, there is significant interest in bringing Ricky Starks into WWE's developmental brand, and when his AEW contract eventually expires, a date that has been the suggest of much discussion over the past few months. Like some believed that his AEW deal was up in March, like a rumor that that AEW president Tony Khan, or should I say Anthony Khan, personally deny by saying that Starks is under contract for a while. However, more rumors began to swirl on social media when it was reported that Stark's deal with AEW expired in July. Like something that has yet to be confirmed or denied. Despite some fans' consistent claims that Starks hasn't reached his full potential, like in AEW Absolute held the AEW's Absolute held the FTW Championship for over a year between 2021 to 2022 before turning face and going after the AEW World Championship of 2022. He followed that up with back-to-back wins over Chris Jericho, and handing CM Punk one of his only losses in his AEW run to win the 2023 Owen Hart Cup Foundation Tournament. And winning the AEW World Tag Team Championships in the end of 2023, back in October of that year, and then however, he hasn't appeared on television since the March 30th episode of AEW Collision, fueling speculation that he's set to leave the promotion. And do you think that he's going to be jumping ship to WWE, most specifically on NXT? If rumors are true that his contract is expiring, or do you think he's going to sign a new deal for the next few years? Or let me know down in the comment section right down below. I mean, don't get me wrong. He could sign for a different promotion like New Japan or even a TNA or even Major League Wrestling or back to the NWA. There's so many other options besides WWE, but it does seem like he could be heading over to the company that his two wrestling best friends are currently wrestling at, which is Titan Towerland itself. And guess who was the man that gave him a shot at AEW? Yep, you guessed it. It was the current undisputed champion. But yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see if he does get the shot at that promotion, if his contract is indeed expired. But we're just gonna have to wait and see like what turns out to be like if he did resign with the company, and or did he let his contract expire and then he move on to another promotion. Either way, I hope that for the best for him. Hopefully, he does really great, and I hope that he will get some success in that said company. Like whether if it's a championship success or even some kind of an achievement or one of the other kind of rewarding accomplishments that said promotion has, like for their wrestlers on the roster. But yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see like what's next for the absolute wrestler. But let's move on to the next slide. We got some backstage updates on AEW's broadcasting negotiations with with WBD, and alongside All In, AEW's ongoing negotiations with Warner Brothers Discovery over a new broadcasting deal has become the dominant story surrounding the promotion. And even though the exclusive negotiating window between AEW and WBD expired last month, there's never been any sign the sides wouldn't reach a new agreement. With some even reporting a deal was agreed to in principle, like like at at worst, it according to Fightful Select, onto a new report, they said, at worst, it appears closer than ever to be signed. Like reports that those within WBD have acknowledged that a new offer was made to AEW, which came following AEW owner Tony Khan's meeting with WBD president David Zaslav, in Paris, France, during the Olympics. The meeting between the two was described as productive, and while WBD sources believe there's still red tape to get through before a deal is official, AEW is renewing the offer, and both sides are optimistic regarding their relationship, continuing for years actually, continuing for years to come. Those in WBD called this new offer extensive throughout through as it, though it remains unclear to what extent or how it relates to the previous offer. WBD made reportedly back in the early it was, however, noted that WBD's previous offer to AEW had been at least double the amount of AEW's previous rights deal. Whether this amount doubles what AEW and WBD agreed to in early 2020, or the renegotiated deal between the sides in 2023 when AEW launched AEW Collision on TNT, is a mystery. One factor in how much AEW could make is the amount of content featured on WBD going forward. It appears any and all combinations and possibilities are on the table, from more hours of AEW TV to new reality show series, crossovers, in and next day streaming rights library rights and Ring of Honor in inquiries have also been made about a shift in AEW's pay-per-view strategy. And what are your thoughts on this negotiation new deal with WBD? And do you think that they will indeed make a new they will with that make a new deal for a new for another 5 years perhaps in on TNT and their TBS TV stations? Or do you think that Tony Khan's going to find another TV station to air his Dynamite, Rampage, and Collision shows, and in another broadcasting channel, and where? If so, let me know in the comment section right down below. But I think they're going to stick around. He's going to sign at least another 5-year deal because it seemed like the broadcasting agreements it's more in a positive way rather than negative, so they're going to eventually probably going to settle on a deal that they're going to agree that they're not going to refuse, whether if it's the how long they're going to make this deal for, or how much money that Warner Brothers is paying them to have them on their weekly on the weekly have their weekly shows be broadcast by and all that stuff. Yeah, let me know down in the comment section right down below. But let's move on to the next slide. Let's talk about some Roman Reigns news, and it says right here that the OTC possibly pulled from upcoming SmackDown show, and it says right here that the month of August has been a strong one for WWE, with Roman Reigns making his long 4-year return to the company at the beginning of the month. In addition to his WWE SummerSlam appearance, Reigns has been a regular on WWE. On the SmackDown brand, of course. And over the last several weeks, and that will likely continue to be the case. But there is one installment of the show that looks as though it won't feature the original tribal chief, which I guess that's the initials for OTC, most specifically the O part. We already know what TC stands for because he's our original tribal chief. But I don't know how to explain it that way, but it's something I thought I might give that's a little interesting and entertaining. But according to Wrestle Talk, Reigns has initially advertised to appear on the September 13th episode of Friday Night SmackDown in Seattle, Washington. However, he has since been removed from the advertising for the show, indicating that he has been pulled from the event. A report notes that Reigns has been replaced in the main position on the poster for the show by Tiffany Stratton, while Cody Rhodes, Bayley, L.A. Knight, and Nia Jax and Sol Sikoa are all also advertised to appear. And last week on WWE SmackDown, Reigns was beaten down by the Bloodline in a segment that concluded the return of Jacob Fatu. Has been very deliberate, in creating many strong opportunities for future matchups involving Reigns, which should include both Sikoa and Fatu. Additionally, with the recent announcement that WWE Survivor Series War Games will be back again in 2024, Reigns seems uh, poised for an appearance like in the titular match type, putting together a team to help him take on the latest incarnation of the bloodline. The faction like you said, the faction certainly has no shortage of enemies like who likely jumped at the chance to get in the ring with them, though forgiving Reigns for the years as company's biggest villain may be a harder sell. But what are your thoughts on 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 Roman Reigns being pulled from the debut show of debut the debut SmackDown Friday night SmackDown of USA, I should say. And do you think it's good, is it for a good reason, and is it because that and do you think that it's because Solo Sikoa could possibly be the reason of him beating, with him being planned to beat Roman Reigns and Bash in Berlin, or is it for a totally different reason? And if so, what's that particular reason why he's going to be missing the September 13th show? If that's the case, for him being removed and replaced with Tiffany Stratton onto the image poster of Friday Night SmackDown on that upcoming show, which I believe that's the show when they go. That's the show when they go back to the USA, but this time on Friday nights rather than Tuesday nights. But yeah, let me know down in the comment section right down below if you think that and it's for a good reason, in storyline wise, or do you think it's for a reality, personal reasons why Reigns is going to be pulled off of that show, which will be them going back going back to the USA channel. And I wonder how long they're going to be on the USA. Maybe for another 5 years until probably they'll move that over to the Netflix, perhaps. I mean, it's a possibility. You never know, but let's move on. We got some NXT news now, or maybe more NXT news if you count the rumors of Ricky Starks being being moved over to NXT, if his AEW contract does expire or already have. But we got a WWE NXT star, Fallon Henley, reportedly injured during recent taping. After taking a few weeks off in July, Fallon Henley re-emerged with some new friends at NXT Great American Bash, teaming with JC Jane and Jasmine Nix to defeat Carmen Petrovic, Lola Vice, and Soruka. This week, the group finally gave themselves a new name. And it says right here, the fatal influence settled their sights on NXT, and newcomer. They set their sights on the NXT newcomers who the trio felt were taking spots. The reintroduction led to Fallon Henley in JC Jane setting up a match for next week's NXT against Jakar Jackson and Lash Legend, one that was taped immediately following last night's episode of one that didn't go the best for Fallon. Fightful Select reports that during the match taping, Henley suffered an injury when she suffered an injury when she sustained. I mean that when she sustained what has been described as a possible broken nose. It's it's unclear when in the match Henley suffered the injury, though it was noted she continued on she continued on and finished the match. Whether Henley will have to miss any time remains a mystery, as the the severity of her facial injury remains unknown. Should it be serious, it would be Henley's first instant of being on the shelf since joining WWE in 2021, as she has consistently worked at least one match per month and has avoided any serious injury. Henley had shown similar durability before joining WWE, with her only hiatus from wrestling occurring during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020. Aside from the fatal influences introduction last night, like NXT also made clear the future direction for the NXT Championship match against All Ego Ethan Page. The former AEW star, will defend the championship against TNA's highly popular Joe Hendry at the upcoming No Mercy PLE on September 1st. And what is your thoughts on Fallon Henley's sustaining a broken nose? And we're gonna see what Fightful Select is talking about while by watching the NXT show in the next 6 days from now on the August the 27th, yeah, the August 27th episode of NXT. But yeah, let me know down in the comment section right down below what's your thoughts onto the matter. And I hope again, and yeah, and if this is true, this report is true about Fallon Henley, which is likely it is. I wish her the very best for a speedy recovery, and I hope she does not be out for long. I hope she what's that? I hope that she fully recovers from her broken nose, and then she won't be out for long. Hopefully, it's just barely a few weeks, like for the whole month of September, and maybe she'll come back at the end of that month or even the beginning of October, so she won't miss too much of action, especially for Halloween Havoc, because I believe that's the Sunday before Halloween, I believe, because Halloween's going to be on the Thursday, I believe, this year. But yeah, let me know about that in the comment section right down below as well. But yeah, wish all my positive and speedy recovery in advance to Fallon Henley, even though they're probably going to be talking about it all over the news. I primarily on next week's news story. Well, I think some of the YouTubers going to be talking about right now about according to Fightful Select's report from the tapings last night, right after NXT, the live NXT that was on for last night went off the air. They pre-taped the matches, including JC Jane and Fallon Henley taking on Lash Legend and Jakar Jackson, where we got Fallon sustain that specific injury. But yeah, we're going to be talking more likely about that, and I better remember that on my review video. I guess that's one thing I'm going to be expecting on NXT, and I better remember that when I'm making my review video, after I watch the show, and what exactly everything just happened, and what's going to be the follow-up for their upcoming pay-per-view premium live event, which that's going to be a week from this Sunday, I believe, which is exactly a week after AEW All In, like NXT Heatwave with AEW Forbidden Door. But yeah, anyways, we got some report on Darby Allin's being discussed for a major title run after All In at Wembley Stadium. And And we got some very intriguing news about his status of as the number one contender for in his upcoming match against the scapegoat, the man above crying people Rivers, Jack Perry, for the TNT Championship. And it states AEW star Darby Allin has had an eventual 2024 from winning and then vacating the AEW Tag Team Championship with Sting to breaking his foot, breaking his foot right before a planned Mount Everest ascent, like to getting hit by an actual bus in New York City. Like, however, the end of the year looks to be potentially as big for Allen as the beginning. He has a guaranteed shot at the World AEW World Championship at AEW Grand Slam edition of AEW Dynamite, like in September, against either Swerve Strickland or Bryan Danielson, one of his fellow Washington natives, and in which he earned by winning the Royal Rampage match in July. And according to the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer, he could potentially be in line to win the TNT title, becoming, I believe, a four-time champion, which that'll lead Jack Perry being 0-2 when it comes to wrestling and AEW All In, which everybody's going to be noticing after watching this match. And it says right here, Allen is in the betting is the betting underdog favorite. The betting underdog favorite heading into his coffin match with Perry at All In. On August 25th, like with reigning champion scapegoat, man love crying people Rivers, Jack Perry, favored with negative 600 odds as of this writing right now. Meltzer believes that if Allen isn't winning like the TNT championship at Wembley Stadium, he could very well win the AEW World Championship at Arthur Ashe Stadium. This is reportedly an idea that has been seriously discussed, especially because Bryan Danielson, like who is the current favorite to leave London as AEW World Champion, like it is in near of a neck surgery, and with Danielson set to retire soon. Like anyway, with the October 12th AEW Wrestle Dream pay per view in talk in Tacoma, frequently speculated as his last full time date. No one is sure like on how long he would be champion if he won at Wembley. Just just that like the reign would be brief. Like Meltzer wrote that the 1 month like between Wembley like and Arthur Ashe Stadium like feels too short like for a Danielson a title reign, I should say. But he also said there's been talk of Allen winning the title at Grand Slam, regardless of who emerged on top at All In. Now, who do you think is going to be on top of the game in the AW World Championship match at the main event between Swerve Strickland or Bryan Danielson? And I'll say this is some good news. Like, and maybe we can see Darby Allin winning, but maybe they're preferring that we could see him could put over Jack Perry right here. Maybe this could be the right business decision, and this is where we can see Darby Allin heading to Arthur Ashe Stadium in September for a shot at the AEW World Championship. And now thinking about it, maybe we could see Danielson win, and then this is where he can still stick around in AEW for another few weeks until like he takes on Darby Allin, and then this is where he can even put him over, being the new AEW World Champion, and this is where we can see him then hang up his boots for good by that time, like and he gets his neck surgery like he was supposed to get, which had been delayed way back like months after months after months, maybe even like since when he took that Tiger Driver from Will Ospreay, was it from back in AEW Dynasty, I believe. But yeah, let me know down in the comment section right down below. And this will reconsider me of thinking that Bryan Danielson could lose here. And maybe we could see Bryan Danielson beat Swerve for the AEW championship. And then he then hangs around in the business for like a few weeks, like even not under contract. And then this is where he can he put over Darby Allin, because it seemed like if we're gonna have Swerve Strickland retain, like you might as well keep having going for another few extra months. But it seems like they found their next champion out of the former three-time TNT champion, which is Darby Allin, and also not to mention he's also a former AEW World Tag Team Champion. And if he does win the AEW World Champion, he will be the first ever AEW wrestler to be a Triple Crown champion of winning the TNT Championship, the AEW World, be the first ever one to held all three of the AEW championships, like the original AEW championship. Let me phrase that. Like with the first one being the TNT championship, then the tag team championships, and then now the new AEW World Champion. I do think that's going to be a possibility more than his chances of winning the title that he put on the map, which that's the TNT title. Well, I'll say the second man that, and I mean this in a compliment way, because I am a huge fan of Darby Allin, and I'll say the reason why I'm saying this is because the one that's currently holding the WWE Championship made it the most prestigious title as well. But yeah. But yeah, let me know in the comment section right down below about this report. But it also states that he's gonna win the championship regardless. So that's a win. So it's gonna be a win-win for the former TNT and and tag team champion. But yeah, I believe it already. Like I think that's going to happen, but I think most likely we're going to see like it's going to be Danielson's going to win, and he's going to put over Darby Allin, giving them a reason, reason like why Darby Allin's going to win, because we got what's his name, the former we got the former Yes Man is going to be getting some neck surgery, and he's planning on not wrestling for long, and he promised his daughter that he's going to retire by the time she turns 7, which she must already have turned 7. I believe he said that in the interview, of course. But the best way to do that, like if he's going to win the AEW World Champion and stick around for a little while, for like nearly a month, is to put over a young star, and he finally gets the push that he's been fighting for the last couple of years. And he finally received that chance of becoming being the big one after years of trying. And he always keep getting denied, but he just keep trying over and over and over again. He's finally gonna get that push. And that's excellent news for for Darby, and I hope he does get that push. And the second reason, so they won't bury Swerve Strickland, even though it wouldn't be, I don't think he would have get buried like by someone like Darby Allin. This will be like a very tough victory, like if he beats someone like Swerve Strickland, if he retires Bryan Danielson. But we're just gonna have to wait and see who's gonna be the champion, like to challenge the challenger Darby Allin. So whoever it is, they better be prepared. But yeah, in kayfabe, of course. But let's move on to the next news story. We got Nick Nemeth. Nick Nemeth explains what he'd like to see from WWE's New Day storyline. And yeah, we got some very intriguing news with the former Dolph Ziggler discussed his interest in this New Day's Xavier Woods. This New Day and this Xavier Woods storyline, like with him have been relentlessly pursued by Karrion Kross for quite some time now in an attempt to either break him or make him join the Final Testament. Like additionally, like there's been internal conflict within the New Day, like especially with Odyssey Jones now fighting alongside them. Like some fans believe that the faction will break up due to Woods turning heel. However, according to Nick Nemeth on the Busted Open Radio, there's a more unexpected potential turn waiting to happen in Kofi Kingston. And he explains that's what I would like to see long term, because you don't always have to, if you break up some group long term, like long term, like you don't have to like be world champion. Like he additionally suggested it would be more of a swerve like for Kingston to lash out at Woods, for not being on either his or E's level, like as a as a former world champion, he's not in the level of him or E's level as a world champion. Nemeth also pointed out that the storyline is given New Day like more realistic situations to deal with instead of high fiving and smiling like all the time, smiling, high fiving all the time, like allowing them to show more sides to their characters. Like it's not forced. Like it just seems real and believable. Like Nemeth also opponed that this gives New Day something like to do after years of being comedic relief. Nemeth also pointed out that some of the best Generation X matches, in his opinion, were when Shawn Michaels and Triple H clashed with each other, and suggested the same could apply to New Day. Just knowing that those kinds of matches really bring things out of you. Out and you get like that extra character work. You get a different version. He said, what is your thoughts on Nick Nemeth's opinion? Like, do you think that we will see the New Day will clash something similar to like how Shawn Michaels and Triple H did when they split up as D Generation X when Triple H turned on him when he eventually became World Heavyweight Champion, and they were playing hot potato with the title, which I think it was nothing wrong with them doing that. Like as long as they have a good story to tell, and while they were doing that, we also saw Triple H feuding also with the likes of Booker T, Kevin Nash, and Goldberg. Even though most of them were horrendous, but they still worked. Like they still made it unboring. Like when it came to Shawn Michaels being in the mix of that, of being in the rivalry, because I believe WWE was doing a variety right there. And I believe that's what in the starter of the Ruthless Aggression era made it more relevant and interesting, because they did not try to be forceful to the fans of making them watch something that they do not want to watch, rather than giving them something that's entertaining that they would watch. But yeah, that's the one thing. That's the one thing that that brought in some interest in the Ruthless Aggression era on the post Attitude era. That brought in interest. But yeah, let's move on to the next slide and let's talk about uh, updates on the update status on of WWE recruits both Julia and Stephanie Vaquer, and it says right here WWE NXT WWE NXT, the fans have been waiting to see Julia and Stephanie Vaquer make the highly anticipated debuts. And it seems that their arrivals are not too far away. Julia agreed to join WWE back in April, but waited to help Marigold get off the ground over the summer. As for Vaquer, she has already made her debut for WWE, appearing in the pair of matches against Isla Dawn at the company's recent live events, like in Mon, Mon, in Mon in Monterrey in Mexico City. However, neither woman has appeared on WWE television at the time of writing. As as for when their televised debuts will be, Julia and Stephanie Vaquer seem to be in different spots, according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter written by Dave Meltzer. Julia's debut in imminent as she wrestled her final singles match in Japan on August 19th and will compete in a special gauntlet match against the Marigold roster on August 25th before traveling stateside to begin her life as a WWE superstar. However, Vaquer's debut is a little while away as she is still waiting for her American work visa to come in. The report also stated that Vaquer working the aforementioned WWE live events in Mexico meant that she wasn't allowed to drop the CMLL women's world and women's tag team championships, and had to cancel appearances for both NJPW and Rev Pro. As a result, CMLL has washed its hands of Vaquer afterward, and it is unlikely that she will work for the company again due to the controversial and sudden nature of her exit. And what is your thoughts on to these reasons why we haven't seen both of these women that used to wrestle for New Japan Pro Wrestling, never made their WWE debuts yet, neither on the main roster or on NXT, which likely they're going to be on NXT because they've been because everybody in the company been leaning towards a debut for them to go to NXT. They'll be in a dream program with the current NXT Women's Champion Roxanne Perez, which is likely going to happen, at least in Julia's side, which it said that Julia's going to be heading over to WWE very soon, while Vaquer's waiting for her visa to be fully processed, so she can start working more in American wrestling companies like WWE, and even move over to the states in order to be making more frequent appearances and wrestling consistently in matches in WWE, which WWE is helping her out with by giving her a working visa, because she's not originally a American citizen, and she's from Mexico, and she needs to get that sorted out before she can move over to the United States in order to to work in her wrestling dreams, in the state of the United States of America. But yeah, let me know down in the comment section right down below, when will that be what's that? It'll be fully processed, like I guess you could say, like for her to make her WWE debut. And I figured this will be one of the reasons why she won't be making her appearance, along with trying to find some creative for her to do, which I think they probably did. But I think that, if it has something to do with the NXT Women's Championship, that's probably going to be after like Julia could get her shot at the NXT Women's Championship, which that's WWE probably originally planned. Whether if they brought in Stephanie Becker like in WWE or not, like I think the whole original plan was to have Julia challenge Roxanne Perez first. Then it will be the other former New Japan Strong Women's Champion that challenges her for that title next. But let me know down in the comment section right down below when we'll see these two women like making their eventual debut to W and the Stanford-based promotion. Let me rephrase that. But yeah, let's move on and talk about more Darby Allin news, with him explaining why he's facing Jack Perry in a coffin match at All In. The former TNT champion is looking to put someone in a box at Wembley Stadium as his as AEW TNT Championship match against Jack Perry at All In, like, has become a coffin match. Like, the pair like have been like at each other's throats for months, and their feud has produced some violent moments. Have yeah, shown some violent moments, like with Jack Perry trying to hit Allen with a bus, are Allen setting Perry on fire, and yet some people question the need for their match at AEW All In, like, to be one that will see the level of violence taking the greater heights. Like, speaking on the 103.5, the fan Allen explained why a bout of this ilk, that this this bout of this ilk is necessary. He explains, uh, pro wrestlers are their best when they're themselves, turned up to 10, and now he's himself, which is a child. He takes everything like for granted. He never shows up, shows up to work. Like, come on, like, man, like the coffin match, like everybody's like, why is it a coffin match? Like, why so extreme? In questionable words, like he said, I set the guy on fire. We're going to go to Wembley. Like, we're going to lock up and have a good old match. No, man, I've already set the guy on fire. He had this bloody cage match. Like, there's only one place to go from there, and that's the coffin match. That's the end, all be all. Like, I don't want to. I don't want a whole year feud with Jack. I want to end it at Wembley. All In has not only competed like in every coffin match. Allen has not only competed in every coffin match in AEW history, but he has also won them all as well. He defeated Ethan Page, Andrade El Idolo, two of the names that are currently on WWE, and Brody King, like, by himself, and and he had Sting like by his side to overcome Swerve Strickland and Christian Cage at last year's All In 2023. With that record, like the odds will be firmly stacked in his favor heading into Wembley Stadium. And do you think that Darby Allin will remain undefeated? Like if he can defeat Jack Perry and become a four-time TNT champion, or do you think he's gonna be defeated in his first loss in a coffin match in AEW history? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. I can see it going either way. I can see them can either remain to be he can remain undefeated, and he can keep the streak going of him winning every single coffin match, or we could see Jack Perry could be the first man to ever defeat him in his own game, which in this is a stipulation that's like accustomed to, even though coffin matches has been a common stipulation for many years, especially the Undertaker been doing a similar stipulation like that in WWE, except it was more likely a buried alive match or a with a casket match, most specifically, rather than a coffin. Which some of y'all be saying like, what's the difference? Like, well, the difference is it's like a casket is more like a metal kind of box, like body box, like where you keep your deceased loved ones, like in a funeral, like when you buried him in the cemetery. While a coffin's more likely made of wood, like it's a wood like box, like body box or something like that, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, but let me know down in the comment section right down below about this matter. Like if you think Darby's going to remain undefeated and doing so by winning the TNT championship. But yeah, let's move on to the next slide. We got some Becky Lynch news now. Is why a 19-year-old Becky couldn't tell her mom she wanted to be a pro wrestler. And the former women's world champion Becky Lynch has beaten the odds to become the face of modern day women's wrestling. But if didn't come easy, like in an interview with NFL Super Bowl MVP Julian Ellie Edelman. I was about to say somebody that I know, like that has that name. That I was about to say the last name with another guy that's name is Julian that has an E last name, or last name that starts with the letter E, just like Edelman. But yeah, I get what you're saying. By Super Bowl MVP Julian Edelman, like on the game with names, like, and Becky Lynch said that she had a hard time telling her mother she wanted to be involved in wrestling. And and she revealed, like, after taking my year off of college, like I ended up living back at home with my mom, going, what's your plan? Like what are you going to do? Like in a questioning voice, like and then she said, are you going to go back to college? Like, get a real job? Like, what are you going to do? Like, Lynch recounted, Lynch wanted to show her mom, or show her mother, yeah, give like she recounted like, and she wanted to show her mother like an example of what she wanted to do, but faced a challenge like from both the lewd like of wrestling in the U.S. and the hard hitting Japanese style. The women weren't threatened. I mean, treated. Not said threatened. I mean, treated. I said threaded like if it had an H in it, but it obviously doesn't. But I meant to say were like they weren't treated as the athletes and the stars that we that like they weren't treated as the star athletes and stars that we are today, like in the United States, she said. And she added, there was still a lot of pillow fights and all that kind of jazz and bra and panties matches. They weren't really taken seriously. Like nobody was eyeballing them like to the main event. I couldn't say, well, that's what I want to do on TV. What I was looking at to do, like it was these obscured promotions in Japan, where the women were better than any man that I'd ever seen. Like they weren't kicking the sugar honey iced tea out of each other. Like, but I also couldn't my show my mom that, like the way she with her Irish accent, her mom that, and Lynch soon returned to the road, even wrestling in Japan as she dreamed before truly making her name in WWE. Lynch's last match before the expiration of her WWE contract came on May 28th. Which was a rematch clause for the WWE Women's World Championship on WWE Raw, just days after losing the title to Liv Morgan at King and Queen of the Ring of the Premium Live event in Saudi Arabia, of course, and for now, like Lynch is enjoying her time away from the squared circle, despite the looming uncertainty of if or when like she will resign with the company, go elsewhere, pursued a new venture outside of wrestling, like semi-retired or hang up the boots up permanently. But what do you think that what she's going to be doing in particular? Do you think she's going to indeed going to hang up her boots for good? Do you think she's going to try new ventures, or do you think she's going to stick in the wrestling business and maybe even stick around with WWE or go to another promotion? And if so, go to another promotion. What name she going to be going by? I can figure what name she would go in particular if she did went to a certain company that's elite. But that's going to be but that's probably like if Becky Lynch is ready to get back in the ring, and that's a different video for a different day. But let's move on and let's talk about news about Becky Lynch recalls recalls her moment when WWE feud with Bianca Belair became actually dangerous. And it says right here, in addition to her respective championship run, despite her run as what is it as champ as the and the respective runs. I mean, now I'm saying run. I mean, in addition to her respective championships on of Bianca Belair's most prized possessions, like in is her long signature braid, like in March 2022. Becky Lynch attempted to take that away from Belair by cutting off on the road to WrestleMania 38 on the go home episode of WWE Raw. Unfortunately for Big Time Bex, uh, Belair flipped the script by nailing her with a KOD and starts snapping off chunks of her signature orange hair. Instead, during a recent appearance on Games with Names, what Lynch would call the recurrent danger surrounding the specific encounter. Uh, Be- uh, yeah, Becky Lynch recalled in Becky Lynch recalled and said